been dead. You've missed me. I've been dead for probably about 2 years. I know, but I'm going into 8th grade. We love that. My last video was probably when I was in about 6th grade, being a crackhead. I'm probably going to delete all those videos. They were there for good time's sake, but they're kind of cringy. Actually, I'll keep the stereotype ones because they're funny to me. So I just want to do like a kind of checkup. I'm here. I might start making more videos if this actually gets more views, but I just want to do a checkup. I'm alive. I'm well, I'm here, and I've really been into books, so I just wanted to talk books. I've always liked reading, but I just want to go through the books I've read, the books I'm yet to read, and the book I'm reading now. So let's just get into it. Woo! Alright, I got a stack of books everywhere. So for the books I've already read, I'm gonna just give a slight explaining in my words, because sometimes the back is like not really working out. But oh no. This is the big stack. Our first books kind of go together. It's the first and second Harry Potter, which is like, who hasn't read that? These two, I don't really think they need an explanation, so I'm not going to explain them. Sorry for y'all that don't know what Harry Potter is. But yeah, I read the first one in about 4th grade, and I loved it. Like, literally, I was just sitting there during reading time, like... and I could not stop. And then I kind of forgot, like, the story. I mean, I've seen the movies, too, which I'm pissed about. I would rather read the books than the movies. So, yeah, I reread it about, like, a year ago, and I was like, chef's kiss. And then I was, in about 5th grade, I started on the second one. I cannot get through this. I started it, and then I was, like, bored, so I put it down. And then I put it back up, and I just could not. So I finally picked it up, and I was like, I'm finishing this. I don't care. I'm finishing this. So I read this about a year ago, too. So these are 2 good books that I like. This one's probably about, we're doing this out of 5, 4-star. This one's probably a 3-star. So, yeah. Next are 2 books by one of my favorite authors, actually, Shernim Draper. So the first book I read of hers was Blended. I got it at my book fair in 5th grade, and I saw it, I liked it. Everyone was telling me it was good, and there's a feely thing right here, so I was like, okay, I actually really enjoyed this book. I relate to it a lot. It's about this 11-year-old Isabella. 11-year-old Isabella, whose parents are divorced, and she is multi-raced, so it's just her life going through that. I really, really like this book. It goes, like, it dives deep into the emotions of having divorced parents, and I have divorced parents, so it has a little special place in my heart. But I would appreciate if someone came out with a book, like, really similar to this one, but, like, a young adult instead of kids, because this is kind of a kid's book. So I would appreciate... Let the voice crack. So I would appreciate one that's for more young adults, but I still have a really nice place in my little heart for this book. The next one is called Out of My Mind by the same author. I read that one, and everyone was saying this one was good, too. And I liked it, so I was like, bet. This author's the best. We're doing it. So yeah, this is about 11-year-old. Another 11-year-old. I don't know what she is about 11-year-olds, but it's fine. 11-year-old. About 11-year-old Melody. She can't talk, and she's disabled in the legs. I think she can use her arms. I don't remember. But she's just born that way, so it's going through her life of not being able to speak her thoughts, and only being able to write them down, or stuff like that, and how she communicates with people, and how it's like being trapped in your own mind. And I really like this one too, and getting to see stuff from other people's point of view. So this is a really good read too. It's more kiddie too, but still good. And Shernim Draper just dropped the next book in the series. It's the sequel to this book. I forget what it's called, but it has a little like jar of fireflies, and they're flying out. So yeah. The next book is One of Us is Lying. This was the first like young adult books I grabbed. It's blank. Let's look at this blank cover. Let's take 5 minutes to examine this cover. Okay, anyways. There is a cover to this, but it's a hardback. So I took it off because it was annoying me because it kept like flying off. And when I was reading this, I was reading it outside in the wind, so. Anyways, but One of Us is Lying by Karen McAdams.
Future Sophia here, and it's actually pronounced Karen McManus.
I picked this up and I got like halfway and then I quit. So I went back like a chapter and I instantly remembered where I was, and I just finished this actually about the beginning of June, and it's like the end of June right now. So we're just gonna put the book to the side because it's blank, so I don't need to show you the cover. Okay, anyways, that book is really good. I love it. It's about, so there's Bronwyn, Nate, Addie, Cooper, and they all get sent to detention, and they, are just like sitting and chilling, and their bestie Simon, who's in there too, dies. And so it's just a mystery trying to figure out who, Simon was killed by. Really like that book too. It's like one of my favorite mysteries I've read, because I've only read like 2 mysteries, so yeah, good book. And it has like a little bit of romance sprinkled in, so I like it a lot. And it's a lot about being out there and not caring what people think about you, which I strongly think. Anyways, next, I just finished this book today, not even joking. I sat in my little book chair and I read this. I made myself. It's the 9th series of Unfortunate Events. I have the whole series at my dad's, but I just brought 2 of them to my mom's. This is in the not read yet book pile. Anyways. So this is the 9th one. This wasn't my favorite book in the series, honestly. It was kind of boring. But I got through it because you got to read the whole series. Stay true to your authors. Anyways, this one wasn't my favorite, but I got through it. If you don't know what a series of Unfortunate Events is about, it's about these 3 siblings. Violet, the oldest, their names are the Baudelaires. So Violet Baudelaire, and then the second oldest, Klaus, well, the middle, and then the youngest, Sunny. And their parents, like, died. They literally went to the beach, and then there was a fire, and their parents died. And it's just a series of unfortunate events that happens to them, and you follow them along on the journey. It's actually narrated by the writer, Lemony Snicket. The writer's name isn't actually Lemony Snicket, it's a pen name, because Lemony Snicket is in the story, so it's like, as if, like, this actually happened. It's really cool, though. I've always liked this series. Started reading it in 6th grade, and I got really far. And then I kind of took a break from this one, and then I was like, I'm finishing the series. So I'm on to this one, and I finished it. But yeah, this one wasn't my favorite in the series. Next up, we got House of Shadows. So this is, I got it at Barnes & Noble. 5th grade? 5th grade, I think. When I got this, though, everyone was commenting on the front and was like, it's so creepy. And I was like, this house is so scary. This is by Darcy Coates, and there's 2 books in this series. I actually really enjoyed the series. It's like a horror romance. I didn't really realize it was that much of a romance until I like thought about it now, because I read it in like 5th grade. But it is more of a romance. The second book's called House of Secrets. But yeah, this book is basically about, so this girl named Sophie, that's also why I chose it. This girl Sophie, her dad, I think his job, correct me if I'm wrong if you read this, but his job is like stuff gets shipped over the ocean, he's like in charge of it, but one of the ships crashes and he loses all his money. So this guy named Mr. Argington, anyways, comes and is like, yo, if you let me marry your daughter Sophie, you could have the money for that to make up for it. So then Sophie's like, fine, I'll do it for my dad. So she marries this guy and moves him into his house, and it's like, there's something off about it. Anyways, so there's that. So if you want to read, it's really cool. 2 books. So I have read both. They're the ones at my dad's. Alright, and our last book in the actually read, Ready Player One by sorry, Ernest Cline. I always look right here because right here it says by Steven. Well, like it talks about how it's a movie by Steven Spielberg. Spielberg. Yeah. So I have to look at the spine to see. Anyways, this book I read in 5th grade, and it's actually way more inappropriate than I knew in 5th grade. Because in 5th grade I was just like, oh, it squares a little. It talks about way more than that, so keep that in mind before you read this. And surprisingly, my mom didn't like research the book. She's like, okay, you can read this. And my teacher was even like, Jess, you know that book's inappropriate. And I was like, and I read it, and I did a book report on it. Anyways, I really like this book. It's high action, and it's about this kid. If you haven't seen the movie, his name's Wade Watts. Yeah, Wade Watts. Sorry, I have to remember. I'm gonna have to read off this a little bit. His name is Wade Watts, and it's the year 2044, which actually isn't that far around the corner if you think about it. Like 20 years. 21 years will be in this year. Anyways, and in that year they have like new virtual reality, and this guy named Holiday created this virtual reality thing called the Oasis. And when he died, he hid 3 golden eggs in the Oasis, and they're not like hiding under a rock or anything. It's like actually like puzzles, and you have to solve it. So there's these people called, I think it's like egg hunters, something like that, and they're all hunting for Holiday's eggs because you get to be in charge and get a ton of money. Get to be in charge and own the Oasis and get a ton of money if you find them. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, that's all of the books that I read. Here are the books. Okay, some of them I read like 8 chapters of, and then I gave up on it. So, the first, obviously, you haven't read. I just put this here because I have it. It's the 10th series of Unfortunate Events. This one's The Slippery Slope, so still need to read it, whatever. Not going to go too deep on this one. Okay, next, since we were just talking about it, here's the second Ready Player one. It's Ready Player 2. I read like half of this in 5th grade when I found out it was out. Then I forgot about it, and I honestly don't remember anything about it. So, that's helpful. I need to go back and read it. But I just haven't had the time. And also, honestly, it doesn't interest me that much anymore, but I still gotta be true and do it. Anyway, so there's that. Next, I read about, let's look for my bookmark. I read 3 chapters. And gave up. This is Stella by Starlight by Sharon M. Draper, once again. It's about this girl and her brother, who live, okay wait, I got to read it. I don't know. In the segregated South. Anyways, and it's about the Ku Klux Klan. It's about her and her brother going through the Ku Klux Klan, and they're in the area, and they're trying to stop it. So there's that. Okay, next in the not read, I read actually pretty far in this one. I got like halfway through. This is Death on the Lily Pond Lane by Carrie Doyle. I actually got really far in this book in about 6th grade, and then I got bored, so I got out of it. And then I started reading it again, actually like a week ago when I was swimming. It's kind of boring me, and I'm 3 chapters in, so I'll give it a chance. But there's that. It's about this girl named innkeeper and chef Antonia Bingham. Anyways, and she goes through like all the, like, she's an innkeeper and a chef in the local area. It's like this super rich neighborhood. Anyway, so she like checks on some of the houses sometimes and finds someone dead. Boom, boom, bombs. Boom, boom, bombs. They have to figure out who died. So yeah, there's that one. Okay, next we have The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I have the whole series up there. I got it for Christmas. I got 8 chapters in, and I wanted to read it, but I found another book that interested me. So I wanted the books, and I got the books, and I read 8 chapters, and then I got bored. So I need to read it again, but there's that. Maze Runner. It's about this guy named Thomas, and he wakes up in this lift that leads him up to this place called the Glade is what they call it, and it's just these guys here, and everyone's just like, we don't know how we got there, we're just here. And yeah, so it's just like going through that and what the Glade is and everything like that. And the last book that I haven't read, we got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I just barely got this because I saw it on TikTok/Book Talk or whatever, because everyone's like, it's like the thing, like this book and the next book I'm gonna pull out for the one I'm reading right now, which if you want to make a guess, you can in the comments. So that's the book I'm reading right now. But here's Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I actually don't really even know what it's about. I just heard about it. And I finally found it, and it was actually pretty cheap too. So I was like, we'll get it, I guess. But it's about this high school senior, Andy Bell, who was murdered by her boyfriend. And then he killed himself. And then this girl named Pip, is digging around for answers and thinks that the boyfriend is innocent. So there's that. So Good Girl's Guide to Murder. There's 2 more books in this series, Good Girl Bad Blood and As Good as Dead. So I'll have to read those if I like the first book. So there's that. You're selfish 9, you're jaded 8. So now we're on to the book that I'm reading right now. I actually, so yeah, you know how I finished the 9th series of Unfortunate Events today? I was so eager to finish. That's like, this was like my only motivation to finish the book. So, let's go in pieces. This book, so far, there's no chapters, but I'm on page 41, because it's written as if it's like journal entries. I'm only 41 pages in, and this book is sad. Dark, sad. It's really sad. But I actually really like it. Oh, by the way, this is by Kathleen Glasgow. She has 2 other books, too, that are popular, too. Anyways, it's about this girl, Charlotte, who, is in a psych ward, and it's talking about all her experience there and beforehand. It's going through her story from her point of view, but it's like, you kind of just have to figure stuff out on the way. And it's really cool. I really like how it's written, and so far I actually really like it, and it's very cool to see that perspective and how people go through that, and just sad. I like it so far. So, there's the books. So, for this month, why did my voice change like that? For this month, actually, so, anyways, so for this month, so I'm probably gonna try and finish Girl in Pieces before the end of the month. And then if I do, then I'll either move on to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder or the 10th series of Unfortunate Events. But I'm going to be kind of busy, so hopefully I can finish this one. Anywho, thanks so much for watching. I'm alive, well, and hopefully y'all like this video. Peace!